Good morning, everybody. This is actually my first YouTube for my YouTube channel. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I am the current reigning Miss Wheelchair Rhode Island. My name is Tina Pedersen. And I had an amazing week last night running for nationals in Grand Rapids, Michigan for Miss Wheelchair America. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little recap and let you know what I'm all about and give you some ideas. My platform is Don't Just Sit There, Make a Difference. It's all about advocating for all people with disabilities. No one should miss out on making memories with family and friends, especially due to inaccessibility. My goal is inclusion for all. What happened to me could happen to anybody. Although I was in a room full of wonderful women, about 43 of them in wheelchairs, what a sight. We all ended up in a wheelchair, some by birth, some by a disease that has finally taken over. We had muscular dystrophy, muscular sclerosis, spinal bifida. Some were gunshot. Actually, our 2019 Miss Wheelchair America was actually shot during an armed robbery. Some fell asleep at the wheel and spinal cord injury from a car accident. I walked into her surgery and never walked again. As a 4-time cancer survivor, I'm no stranger to facing adversity. But I learned to navigate the world differently. And it's also made me who I am today. So instead of rolling in a ball and sitting off to the side, I decided to do something about it. So I became part of this great program, the Miss Wheelchair America program. It is not a beauty pageant by any means. Although we are all beautiful on the outside and the inside, that's not what it's about. It's all about education and advocacy, and spreading the word all over the world and making a difference. And that's what we're all about. I drove to Michigan with my wonderful sister Karen, who graciously took 2 weeks out of work to come and be my companion for the week, to help me out and to be part of this. We drove 14 and a half hours to Grand Rapids, Michigan in one shot. And we got there on Sunday, and the funny part is we all got to talk to each other online or beforehand, or a lot of us contestants. And I was strolling in and I was talking to the bellhop, and I heard in the distance 2 women going, "Is that Rhode Island?" They knew me by my voice, good or bad. They knew me, and they knew I was there by my voice. That's how the bond and the friendship forms. It was absolutely amazing. These women are inspiring. These women are life-changing. My sister, who, as we call them, she's a walker. She spends a lot of time with me, but she also lives an hour away. So the day-to-day she's not, into. Her eyes opened after being at a pageant like this, and the women who we just don't give up. We just keep going, and we just make it work somehow. We're truly no different than anybody else. We just do everything differently. It's no different than somebody who wears glasses, who really needs to wear glasses and takes the glasses off. They can't drive anymore. They can't do stairs. They have a hard time navigating because they can't see. My legs don't work, but I can still get around, and the rest of me functions, and the rest of me works, and I can still get around, and I can make a difference. And it's so wonderful to just be able to get past it and move on. So let's do a recap of the week. Monday, we set up our storyboards. We all were required to make a storyboard all about ourselves and our advocacy, and stuff like that. So we did that, and we kind of had like a little meet and greet. We got our new sashes because we wore specific 2019 Miss Wheelchair America sashes for the week. So we had that at our first dinner, and we were told we were amazing. We were told that we were empowered, and we were told that one whole entire week, every day, was all about us. And it was just amazing to see. Tuesday was Family Fun Day. We all got up and wore the same t-shirts, and we went to the Gerald Ford Presidential Museum, which was truly interesting. We took a group photo, and to see 43 women in wheelchairs with their companions walking through the streets of Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is incredibly accessible. No one looked at us funny. No one looked down on us. No one questioned us. We were just treated like everybody else. It was truly amazing to watch all of us work together. After we went to the museum, we had a scavenger hunt throughout the city. We had to find certain things and take pictures with locals and statues, and it was just so much fun, and what a bond. Then we had our first theme night. There were 3 theme nights. Our first theme night was a murder mystery dinner, and it was under the sea. There were mermaids, there were people who had seashells on their dresses, and of course, knowing me, I had to go all out, and I made a cool octopus costume. If you follow my page or watch the slideshow, you can see it. But again, it was just a bunch of women who happened to be in wheelchairs having a great time. It was so much fun. Wednesday started interviews. We each had a series of 3 interviews with our judges. Throughout Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we were split up, and it was one-on-one interviews. And during the interviews, we had workshops on physical fitness, self-defense, money management, advocacy, history of the disabled community, you name it, and we learned about it. And I am so well empowered now with all of the information that I received and the knowledge that I learned. Talking to each other was incredible. We just made it work for all of us. And I learned so much, and I have so much to take back and make Rhode Island work so much better and be so much more accessible. And it was amazing. Wednesday night was carnival night. I dressed as a gypsy, fortune teller gypsy. We also had during carnival, as people were dressed as pigs and farmers and circus animals and clowns, we had an etiquette lesson on dinner, how to properly use the right fork and spoon. So that was kind of, not only did you have a bunch of women in wheelchairs dressed as crazy carnival characters, but then we're learning about what fork to use and what spoon to use. What I took away from the etiquette lesson, although very, very fun and very informative, then I'm not allowed to eat out at a fancy restaurant. I'm me. Take me or leave me as I am, but I'm just me. And we had so much fun, and we laughed, and we had caricatures done, and we played carnival games. I was put in jail. There's pictures of all of that if you follow my page, 2018 Miss Wheelchair Rhode Island. You can follow along and see all of my pictures. So that was exciting. Thursday was probably the most life-changing day of all. After a day of workshops and interviews, we had 50s night. Again, all of these women and their companions dressed in poodle skirts and pink ladies and T-birds and clothing from the 50s, dancing on the dance floor to the curly shuffle, the electric slide. Yes, you can do all of those routines in a wheelchair. And if you want to see it, go to my Facebook page, and it's mind-blowing. We sat in a circle at one point, and we sang Lean On Me together. Of course, the tears started flowing because it was so empowering and so wonderful to all of us that the competition went away and the sisterhood bond was formed. And everybody just let loose and had a great time. And it was like a club made for us. It was just all about us, and no crashing wheelchairs, laughing and giggling and photos, and just so empowering. You have to experience something like that. It's very, very hard to put into words. It's something you just need to experience. Friday was our final day of interviews. We also had a business expo we all were to take part in. A bunch of businesses from Michigan all gathered together, and we were tested on our interactive skills with businesses and how we speak and how well we, so we had to talk to each and every business. I learned so much about so many different things, and it was so fun just to go around to all the different businesses and talk and laugh and relax. And then it was a nerve-wracking speech night. Each one of us had to prepare a 2-minute speech to address and tell all about our stories. I don't think there was a dry eye in the building, because when you hear some of these empowering stories of women talking about their platforms and their lives, like one dedicated her whole platform to her husband, who's her caregiver, and how much we need to respect and honor them, to mine about accessibility, and to those of education. Just because we're in a wheelchair doesn't mean we don't do further education. Living a healthier life, standing up in a wheelchair. They have stand-up wheelchairs that makes us physically fit. There's so many different voices, and our stories of how we all ended up in a wheelchair at this point was just truly amazing to listen to and hear. Saturday was fun. We had a free day. They had a Paul Mitchell school from Grand Rapids, Michigan come in and did all of our hair and makeup. As much as we don't need to fix our outside to make us feel empowered on the inside, it was just fun to be with all of our sister queens, getting cool, funky makeup done and getting our hair braided and curled and laughing and joking and just having a great time, you know what I mean? And being pampered and waited on. And every woman needs that. Let's be honest. Every woman needs that somewhere in their life. It doesn't make you who you are. It's for the day. It's once in a blue moon. But your empowerment comes from in here. Your advocacy comes from in here. It's all about how you react and how you make it happen. And then we had our crowning event on Saturday, where one of my very good friends, Miss Louisiana Karen Roy, who was, like I said before, who was shot at 19 years old in an armed robbery, and now she's 50, and she looks amazing. And she works for New Motion, which is a company that goes all around the country, and she demos the standing wheelchair and more technology to help people keep physically fit. She is real. She is beautiful. She is smart, and she truly represents all of us. Now you might be thinking, oh, she didn't win, so she must be. You know what? Every single one of the women who got on that stage is a winner. I won so much more than a crown. I won a sisterhood bond that now I can go pretty much anywhere in this country and have a place to stay that's handicap accessible, that I can just reach out to one of my fellow queens and make appearances and just have that sisterhood bond. The doors that were open for me. One of the judges wants to write a book of my life story. Movie deals, TV, newspaper, radio. So many doors have opened for me. I have a congressional roundtable that I'm going to be sitting at to talk to my local government. I've been promoted from my local governor's office, who wants me to take a higher seat on the disability board to truly make a difference. I'm meeting the president in the fall, and I'm talking to the House on accessibility and stronger ADA laws and how we can do this in our great nation. So how can I say all that and say I didn't win? You can't. You can't, because I'm so much more empowered. I'm so much more educated. I'm so much more enlightened, and I am ready to make a difference. So please jump on the roller coaster ride that is Miss Wheelchair Rhode Island and follow along, because it's a train that will not stop for the rest of my life. I have now been chosen to be the Rhode Island State Coordinator, since we really didn't have a true program here in Rhode Island. So in late January, early February, we will be having a crowning ceremony for somebody who would like to be the next Miss Wheelchair, because unfortunately you can only hold the title for a year. So if you're 21 or older and use a wheelchair 100% of the time outside of your home, and ready to make a difference, please contact me. We're looking for you in Rhode Island. You will always have me by your side. I will be the state coordinator. I will help you. With me, I had to find all my appearances and make my own path because there was no set path for me. You will not have to work that hard because you have me in your corner. And trust me, I work about as busy as 100 men put together. When I put my mind to something and I want to make a difference, I make change and I make it happen. So if you know somebody or you are that somebody, we're also looking for state title holders in other states. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Alaska, Puerto Rico, Missouri. There are so many states that we want. Our 50th anniversary competition will be in 2020, and we'd love to have all 50 states representative by that pageant. So it's 50 by 50 is our goal. So if you know anybody in another state that fits that criteria, please have them reach out to me, and I will get all their paperwork and get them in connected and put them involved in this life-changing organization because it truly is life-changing. I may have lost the ability to walk, but I gained so much more. I gained purpose and determination to make a difference. No matter our differences, we are all the same. We all deserve a society where no one is denied or ignored. If you were in my shoes tomorrow, wouldn't you want the same opportunities afforded to everyone else? I walked into a surgery and never walked again. Never expected my life to change that drastically, that quickly. If we stand up and step up and roll up for the disabled community, whether you're in a walker, a wheelchair, elderly, blind, any form, and you can't get into a business or a party place or a venue, we need to step up. We need to speak up. The ADA has been around 28 years now, and there is no such thing as being grandfathered in. If you are older than 28 years old, you had 28 years to include everybody. It's time you make the change. Somebody had said to me once, don't you feel like you're getting special treatment because you want businesses and places to become accessible for you? I said, well, if you thought of me being paralyzed from the waist down as a special treatment or a choice, if you consider me having cancer 4 times a choice, then I would say yes, it's favoritism because I chose to be disabled. I chose to be in a wheelchair. I chose to get sick, but that's not the case. My disability is not a choice. So your accessibility is not a choice because we deserve the same rights as everybody else. We deserve to be included. We deserve to have what everybody else has and live our lives to the fullest. You are only on this earth a very short blink of an eye. We want to make the most of it just like everybody else. And with the proper accessibility, bare minimum, every business applying to the current right now ADA laws would make a huge difference. 30% of Rhode Island is disabled. Less than 50% of our businesses are handicap accessible. Put those odds together. Would you, if you ended up not being able to walk in a wheelchair tomorrow, would you want to miss out on weddings and cookouts and funerals and just going out to eat by yourself to enjoy life? I don't think so. So let's make it right for everybody before you know of a loved one or yourself who lands up in this predicament. Hopefully that never happens, but stand up for the people. What about all the children in this world who are going to spend the rest of their lives in wheelchairs? Should they be now, not only did their disease take over, but should they be punished of missing out on so many things because their disability wasn't a choice? Accessibility is not a choice. It is the right thing to do, and we will make it happen. So please join in my roller coaster ride and follow my YouTube page, and you will not be sorry. and stand up, step up, speak up. Whether you're a walker or a wheeler, anything, just step up and make a difference. Don't just sit there, make a difference. Get out there, make somebody smile for the day, educate, advocate, and just love one another and treat everybody the same because we are. Love you all. Mwah. I'll be in touch soon.